time to start planning again. So about 2 or 3 days before the end of the month or the start of a new month, I start to plan the next month. I am using the bullet journal to do a lot of what I'm going to show you today because that's where I'm keeping track of a lot of things. Some tasks I got to get done, where I'm going to be traveling to, and the things I have to do to prepare for that. Getting a dog sitter for the dog. I track a lot of just like the logistics of my life in my bullet journal. So for me to plan my month, that requires setting up those new pages of the month in bullet journal. If you are not familiar with what bullet journal technique is, highly suggest you YouTube search it. Definitely watch the tutorial, the basics of what a bullet journal is from the people that created it. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. So I'm actually going to show you how I set up my bullet journal. I have my iPhone camera above me here just so you can kind of see while I talk to you, and I'm going to just walk you through the whole thing. First, you need something to write with. So there's that. You also need a ruler if you want it to look halfway decent, which trust me, I am not the person you need to follow for bullet journal technique. If you're looking for somebody that knows how to do like calligraphy or gorgeous handwriting, you're gonna want to follow somebody else for that. I use a ruler to keep myself within the line. So we just need to start with the beginning of the month. That requires the calendar and the tasks. So okay, so it's very simple. I just added all the dates in October here on the left, and I created a tasks page on the right. So from here, I usually like to fill in these dates with mostly personal things that I have on my calendar, or if it's business travel, like if I know personally I am leaving my house and I need to know about it, that's gonna go on the calendar as well. At this point, I would look at the calendar, which is on my phone, and I can't look at my phone. So I'm gonna get my laptop. Remind myself of all the important things happening in October. I will be visiting family on Ben's side in Connecticut and coming back on the 3rd. And that takes us through October. I suppose there's a Halloween party in there somewhere. I just haven't been invited yet. Okay, so in regard to tasks, I'm not going to fill them in right now, but what I will probably do is go back through September and see if there's anything really big that's worth spending time on that I didn't get done. Because very obviously, if it hasn't gotten done yet, it's not urgent. But if I'm like, holy crap, I still haven't done that, that's important to me, that's gonna go in the monthly tasks list. And then I'll be able to figure out where it actually fits into the month later on. But I'm not gonna do that now, just something to note there. I try to make sure that this is a list of things that are extremely important, valuable to me, not like a don't forget to send that email newsletter out kind of thing. That's more of a daily task. It's got to be something that actually is a needle mover for life or business. That's what goes here. Okay, so from there, I go into a weekly log. I think what they teach you with bullet journal, and I'm considering switching to this at some point, is daily logs, but for right now, I try to just do everything a week at a time because I'm able to go through and look at it on Sunday night, schedule everything that's on a weekly list throughout the week based on how many calls or meetings or appointments I have. And then that way I know I'm going to get it done that week. It's not necessarily something, because I will just load up a daily to-do list, don't we all? And then we look at that daily to-do list and we're like, are you serious? You really thought you were going to get all that done in one day? No. I would suggest if you are going to go the daily route that you limit how many of those bullet points you give yourself. I'm actually going to give myself 2 pages per week right now because I'm thinking about trying the daily method. A major part of this bullet journal technique is keeping track of content. So how many videos are going out at Savvy Sexy Social, like this one? How many podcasts are going out to Vlog Boss Radio? If there's anything else I need to fit in, but those are the major two. And so I like to lay out an entire calendar. I think the last time I showed my bullet journal, it was about planning my videos. And I have really changed the way I do my calendar layout since then, so that might be a little extra interesting for you today. I wanted my podcast scheduling to be in the same area as the videos so that I could get a feel for what I'm talking about across the board and sort of just make sure I'm touching on all the things that I want to as a creator. So here is what September looked like. I still use my blue and pink sticky notes. I kind of have a legend over here. These are my working buckets at the moment. So if you're familiar with Vlog Like a Boss, my book, I talk about scheduling your content within buckets. So these are the ones that I'm working on right now. They're not really front facing. You probably won't hear me say a couple of these very often, like Pep Talk or Proactivate, but they are guidance for me. And I actually have on page 141 of my bullet journal kind of like walks me through exactly what I should be thinking about when I'm scheduling those. And I take that legend and I pop those numbers on the calendar so I know what kind of video should go out on that day. Like if I have a video idea and it's definitely going to be an awesome boss life, then I just put it in the next number 1 on the calendar. And then of course the podcast, Move It Monday, Network Wednesday, and Fly Friday. So the podcast took a little bit of a break this month because of the wedding. Obviously the videos took a break as well. So you can see that the pink ones are at the bottom for this month, but this is what it's going to look like on the next page. So we're basically just going to recreate this. You'll also notice that I gave myself an extra line last month for the first month of October, and I'd like to be able to do that again, but it's nice to be able to start planning into the future, and then when you get your new editorial calendar all laid out, move these sticky notes over wherever they belong. So now I'm going to move stuff over from October. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. So I've moved everything from the September calendar that was actually October onto my October calendar, and I'm going to fill in the rest of these dates Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays with a blue sticky note, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays with a pink sticky note, because blue is video and pink is podcast, if you haven't figured that out. I'm not going to spend time doing that with you because I usually do the sticky note thing while I'm watching mindless television. But the point of it is that I can be able to fill in an idea on a sticky note and put it on the calendar at the appropriate date. So whatever the number is, the bucket that I need to fill, what's the idea, stick it on there. But if I don't end up doing it, if I need to reschedule it, I can just move the sticky note. So that's why I don't just write it on the calendar. I like to be able to reschedule things as needed, depending on if I've done the proper planning for something or not. But you can kind of get the gist of it here, and I've got plenty of space for pre-planning in November. It might be a little bit messy, but this is my system. Those are the basics of how I plan a new month. Definitely a lot going on the computer as well. My calendar on Google Calendar and my email, and you guys know I have systems pretty much everywhere. But this is where I get a really good idea of what is to come and how I can prepare myself. If you want more organizational kind of ideas and tips like this, if you want to hear more about my bullet journaling technique, other things that I do, please subscribe to this channel. More to come in the future, especially if you tell me in the comments below that you're excited to learn about one of those things. Let me know. That's all for today's socials. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. As always, subscribe for good vibes, and remember to get organized, get planning, and get things done so you can go after the life you want. Cheers. Whew, that was a doozy. Camera's failing all over the place.